week started with this weird Paige situation.
That was the craziest thing ever. That article was wild.
So this is actually
They
the
should have called the
Ultiworld.
documentary "Turn the Page."
Nice.
Turning
This
the
is actually the
page.
Ultiworld article because the Emporia Gazette is what broke the story, and it wasn't the best journalism you've ever seen because it seems like this was kind of a non-issue, but how the Emporia Gazette made it was that there was a situation that involved Paige Pierce that got the cops called on her at Emporia Country Club.
Yeah,
That was basically what they said.
Bro, somebody at the Emporia Gazette has it out for him. It's a sting job there. That was
But
rough.
They
essentially,
have it out for clicks, is what they have. it out for.
where is?
good point.
I mean, this is a long explanation, but essentially what seemed to happen was that Paige showed up to play the country club. It was closed, but someone one employee gave her keys to a golf cart.
She thought she had permission.
Yeah, she thought she had permission.
Well,
so she
for
was
all
playing.
intents and purposes, she did, and a member called her.
And then the different employee was like, no, but a member called the cops on her. But by the time the cops got there, it was all solved with the other member because it was basically just like, no, I got keys. And it was like one employee got her keys. One employee was like, no, you can't have keys.
This is a big
It was
misunderstanding.
a big misunderstanding.
Not a big deal at all.
Why I wanted to bring it up was I thought that the PDGA director of competitions comment on the situation was interesting, depending on how you read it. So Jeff Jaqua, I believe is his name. He told the Emporia Gazette, he said, I can't express enough our disappointment on our organization's end. Sometimes these players just get a little too demanding and don't understand the amount of work it takes to make these events happen and the partnerships that are created, and we don't like damaging partnerships.
Do you want to know the craziest thing ever?
It just sounds like he was coming after Paige.
Yeah, he just
do you
was
want to know
throwing
the
Paige under the
craziest
bus,
thing
sounded
ever
like.
is that the PDGA are supposed to be for the players, and they hate the players because the players are critical of them. And the PDGA is like, we can never do any wrong ever. And I don't believe they did do any wrong in this situation, but you are effectively it's almost like it's almost like the players need a players association. There needs to be.
They have one because I think Yuli's the head of it.
I never even heard of it, but we need they need somebody to stick up for them because this happens in pro sports. The leagues are run by the owners and governors and commissioners, and they kind of think for themselves. And then you have the players association who thinks for the players and creates collective bargaining agreements to make sure the players are taken care of and spoken for. And the PDGA, man, they are very quick to throw people under the bus.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. They just chuck people under the bus.
I originally read I can't express enough their disappointment on our organization's end. I was thinking he was saying from the PDGA.
Yeah.
And
then he said these players.
Yeah, I was thinking he was saying
just say it was a big misunderstanding. You don't have to. That's the thing is that there was no reason to just chuck Paige under the bus.
Paige showed up to play a practice round, and to be fair, the course being closed is not a huge deal because it's not a few days before the World Championship.
Right,
it's a week in advance, and the course is going to be open Tuesday through the World Championship.
This whole situation was nobody's fault. It was just a misunderstanding.
So it's just the Monday. It's apparently a common thing for golf courses to be closed on Monday to members only.
Nice ones, yeah.
And so that's what the Emporia Country Club was doing. Their typical Monday because per PDGA rules, they don't have to have the course ready until Friday. So this Monday, way in advance, the country club's closed, period, unless you're a member. And so Paige shouldn't have been out there, but she showed up and got keys from someone, and she's like, oh, I can play. She has no idea the course is closed. So she's playing. It's just a misunderstanding, as the article said. It's very easy to see how it happened type thing. But then for the PDGA to just be like, sometimes these players get a little too demanding and don't understand.
And we know...
It sounds like he was just ranting.
He's reading that statement.
You're a reporter?
That statement is totally directed at Paige too because of her comments. She's been critical about them in the past about them not doing enough.
Yeah.
And so that was you could literally apply that statement. They don't like Paige. The PDGA, man.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting.
They
but
get them on nerves.
I can agree because the rest of this article does talk about somehow Paige and Nate Perkins were a little bit frustrated. That the course wasn't ready that early.
That's not true.
That's fair, but because they were saying where the sport's headed, we need more than 4 days to get ready for a major. Completely fair statement. And we were talking about on debate night a little bit, and how I explained it to Brody is I was like, what I think is 4 days before the event, the course needs to be truly set up, banners.
Right. But where open early.
But maybe 7 days in advance or 6 days in advance of the tournament starting. it needs to at least have the lines, like temporary lines painted or something which they do have now. Because they were waiting, and this is also makes sense in Emporia's head, they were waiting to come back and fully finish lining when the Parks and Rec and everyone had done their final mow before Worlds on Thursday afternoon.
That makes a lot of sense.
So that they didn't paint and they had to go back and redo all the work. And the course didn't have to be ready per PDGA guidelines till Friday. So, like, why am I going to go do it? But after they talked to the players, Dynamic did what Dynamic does, and they went out and they lined them to make sure. From what I understood, it was already flagged, but then they went out and went ahead and just painted it to be like, all right, we'll come back and just repaint, but here we go. Go ahead and paint. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything like last year where they had lines changing overnight. I don't know if you remember that at Utah.
Oh my gosh, the bunker thing.
Yeah. I don't think that's going
to...
That will not happen. I would be shocked if Dynamic did something like that. But, yeah, it seemed originally like a bigger deal because let me find the headline I saw. I shouldn't be... Yeah. Disturbance involving pro disc golfer being monitored. Paige Pierce of Plano, Texas, reportedly had to be escorted off the course after an alleged incident on the course. The Emporia Police Department, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds
like that sounded like, oh,
like
what the heck did Paige do?
Yeah, it sounded like Paige like broke rule, like wrecked a cart into like was like out there joyriding or something.
Yeah,
like she just was trying to go.
Well, she was just trying to play a course. But
Yeah,
I wanted to still bring it up because I thought the PDGA's assumption that Paige was in the wrong immediately was very interesting because like Dynamic didn't make it like in that article. Everyone else had like was like no comment because they were obviously waiting. Like that doesn't make sense. We're waiting. So no one else talked to the Emporia Gazette, and the PDGA was like so disappointing. You know, these players are just so demanding.
Like, yeah,
fair,
sorry, everybody. Like our silly players, like we the PDGA, you know, like we would never. But like our silly players.
To be fair, though, it does sound like the Gazette, like. Obviously, that's how they portray things, is they're trying to make it sound as aggressive as possible. So whenever they went to the PDGA, maybe asking for a statement or something like that, they might have posed it as, are you aware of what one of your players did?
That's fair. But if you're not aware, I'm saying I haven't heard yet. Let me talk to the player and get back to you.
You're right.
I'm not. You don't say on record as representing the organization.
Yeah.
Our stupid little players. You know, they really don't understand what goes into this big stuff. They just don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, when they grow up, like, you know, they'll mature and understand.
The PDGA does a lot of like, a lot of this like
they do word vomit.
They do this like you just don't even know what we're doing. Like you don't understand how difficult it is.
That's the whole problem.
Then
we
tell
don't.
us.
You ask for $75 a year and we don't know. That's the whole issue.
All I've ever heard is like all of the stuff that requires money for them is like the amount of like computer work and like that goes along with like the sanctioning and the rating system and all that, and it's like, well, I don't.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but like invest to streamline that or something.
Yeah,
do something.
Well, I don't know.
Give me a free T-shirt when I sign up for $1 million.
Hopefully, that's the only thing we get from this week. Hopefully, that's the only like weird storyline, but. Had to bring that up.
You know
I do think
cheap you could get a T-shirt if you bought them in the amount of bulk. Just give us a free T-shirt.
Well,
hashtag free T-shirts for the PDGA members.
Personally, I would rather have my membership cost, even if it's $5 less, than get a magazine every month. Like that should be an option.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Like save money.
Spoken
not
like
get
somebody
disc
who's
golf.
never been in disc golf magazine.
I have been.
Dang.
It's the disc golfer, I believe is what it's called.
Doesn't matter.
But regardless. Not something like I get it in every month, I throw it away every month.
Mm-hmm.
Or just give us a digital copy. Like that should be something like that's an option.
Well,
save X amount of dollars.
Should be an option. I used to read it a lot, but nowadays I don't.
Yeah.